Richard Pryor knew that they was over there sniggling about him. He grabbed his pistol. Pop, pop, pop. Bitches was running everywhere. You ain't got to tell me twice. Hello there, lovers. Hello there, brothers. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. Today's looky will be our Camila flowers. We got them in black and white. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes you, can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, baby, we wrapping this up. Because you know we got that Jennifer Lewis book waiting in the wings for us. Let's continue talking about Richard Pryor, prior convictions, and other life sentences. The official autobiography. Still, I fell immediately back into my old habits, much to Deborah's chagrin. One afternoon, she and I, Uncle Dickie, and my grandmother went fishing. And in the middle of the outing, Uncle Dickie and I disappeared with what Debbie described to be the most horrific-looking white women in the world. She called them dogs. She was packing to go back to L.A. when the phone rang. Deborah, Uncle Dickie said, Richard had a heart attack. Never mind that I'd been on the cover of Newsweek or held by Time as the new black superstar. Never mind my latest picture, Which Way Is Up, opened that week. Never mind I had money, a mansion, women, and cars. I got my ass home and hollered like a kid, Mama, Mama, help me, Mama, help me. I spent 4 days at the hospital in ICU, where doctors determined I'd had a scare rather than an attack. My grandmother gave all sorts of explanations to the press, ranging from too much smothered steak and cabbage to a heart scare. No one mentioned a family history of heart disease or the chance that my ticker didn't enjoy boogity sugary as much as I did. No one mentioned anything. The doctor simply told me, take it easy. Remember, Mr. Pryor, moderation. Right. Not a problem. Our New Year's party started out like everyone else's. Debbie and I invited a bunch of friends over to celebrate as the clock ticked past midnight. We drank and snorted boogity sugary and kissed as the calendar changed to 1978. But none of us anticipated starting the new year with a blast. By morning, though, I was plastered. Debbie and I were also fighting like cats and dogs. Then she threatened to take off with her girlfriends, all of whom sat on one side of the living room, snickering at me. Being someone who didn't take kindly to insults on my manhood, I went for my ultimate fuck you, okay? If they don't grab their ping pong, they grab their blicker. He said because the women were laughing at him, and his shenanigans, because that's what us girls do. We sit in the corner like, look at this dirty dick. Look at him. Girl, You know, Debbie told me that he can't get hard no more without putting sugary on his pickle, girl. Really, girl? Mm-hmm. She said last night she found him in the bathroom covered by throw up. Mm-hmm. Richard Pryor knew that they was over there sniggling about him. He grabbed his pistol. Pop, pop, pop. Bitches was running everywhere. You ain't got to tell me twice. You ain't got to buckle twice with me around. I grabbed it from my nightstand. Then I waved it in her face. Didn't bother Debbie one bit. She refused to flinch. Stayed right in front of me. I said to myself, this bitch is crazy. Yeah, because she probably tired of your ass and your craziness. They arrested me for assault with a deadly weapon. I went to jail and was freed on bail later that day. The charges were dropped in February. Within 6 months, Deborah and I were officially divorced and back to being friends. I probably should have given my love life a vacation, maybe taken a decade or two off. Instead, I grabbed hold of Jenny and lulled her into the calm center of my hurricane. From the beginning, Jennifer and I were mismatched lovers who couldn't get over thinking how lucky we were to have found each other. She came into the picture knowing exactly what to say and to do to inspire my mind and excite the rest of me. To her, I was one in a million, a prince who didn't see his royal standing. And I felt elevated around Jenny. In the well-bred, college-educated beauty, I thought I might have found somebody who could love me so hard and passionately that I'd finally be able to love myself. But our relationship was marred by a tragic weakness that would nearly destroy the both of us. Jenny was almost as big of a dope dummy as me. Listen, drugs and romance, man, your brain is so warped when you're on drugs in a relationship, okay? You don't really understand what's happening around you, you know? And there was the time that, I used to love me some marijuana. Okay, love it. I still love the marijuana. I still do. But it was a time where, it got a bit much for me. Okay, and I was dating the Texan at the time. And I am here to tell you that part of the reason why he got away with so much with me was because I was high off of that marijuana cookie that I didn't even realize how much of an cancer or infestation he was to my life until I lost it all. In a test of will, she was as strong and stubborn as me. She drank with me. She snorted coke with me. But the worst of our secrets was shared the first time I slapped her. When a man hits a woman, one of two things happen. Pay attention. Pay attention. When a man hits a woman, one of two things happens. Either she hauls ass in the opposite direction or she becomes yours. I remember this one time. Give me a minute, y'all. So I remember the first time that I found out that my Texan had a dirty dick, okay? And we were having a conversation. And with me, I need you to sit down and I need you to talk to me rationally about why you're doing the things that you do. And if you got a good enough explanation, then we'll make it past it. Like honesty to me is a good enough explanation. If you say, nah, I'm just stupid, I do dumb shit, then I will accept that and I will work with you so we can move past it, okay? But what he thought he was going to do was to bully me to back down. You know how them ninjas do, them punk-ass niggas, okay? Them bitch-ass niggas, you know what they do. You catch them, next minute you know they flailing their arms, they're trying to hover over top of you like they about to, scare you into submission. Not nay. Not nay, I don't work like that. My energy don't work like that, but. So he's hovering over top of me. Stay the fuck out of my face. Yeah, literally screaming in my face. I looked up at that nigga. I said, let me tell you something. If we gonna fight, it's gonna be a fair one, okay? I need you to back up, allow me to stand up, and we gonna rumble in this bitch. Because what you not gonna do is bully me. I told you the only person that can bully you is somebody that has some kind of authoritative stance over you, or power over you. You know what I'm saying? He ain't had no power over me. I pay my own motherfucking bills. Okay? So when I told him to back up and let me stand up so we can square off, he calmed down. He calmed down. He walked away. He was old smooth, slick, talking shit on the way back. And when I seen that he backed up, I was like, yeah, I thought so. And then for real, I was kind of giving him a chance to rethink what he was doing. Because for real, if he wouldn't have backed up, when I tell you I would have reached for them balls and I would have popped the grape on his ass, that's what you won't do with the nay. That's what you won't do. So I was trying to give him a chance to collect himself. Plus, the Texan had a pacemaker in his chest. Ooh, I couldn't wait to kick that motherfucker through his back. Let me move forward because I don't want y'all to be like, this damn girl is a maniac. One time as a child, I followed my father and stepmother up the stairs of our house, watching as my dad beat the crap out of Viola. It was very upsetting. It wasn't a fair fight. I knew he shouldn't have been beating her. Daddy, don't hit her. I pleaded. Don't hit her no more, please. He turned around. This is my woman, he snapped. Now you get your black ass down those steps and mind your business. Isn't that crazy? What's crazy is there was a time, okay? There was a time where if you married a woman and that was your woman, she carried around your last name, then it was okay to put your hands on her and discipline her like she was your child. What the? Let me tell you something. My paternal grandmother, oh, y'all, from what I understand, they kicked her ass square out of South Carolina because she was around there whipping up on them niggas' asses. Okay? You got to go, AJ. You got to go because you too feisty. You don't know how to sit down and be submissive. My grandmother kicked asses all the way till she made it to D.C., okay? And still was kicking ass, okay? Because me growing up, I seen my grandmother as a fighter. Ooh, one time, this lady thought that she was going to correct my father. I remember the story. My grandmother telling me the story like it was yesterday. My bad for keep going to the left. This lady, oh my God, thought that she was going to correct my father. My father is the only child. My father came in the house, told my grandmother, okay? My grandmother grabbed an iron, went outside, swung it around, and hit that lady in the face. You know that bitch ain't do nothing? Nothing to my grandmother. She is not the one. So I come from a fight to standing up to men and not taking that, that lashing from a man or whatever you want to call it. I can't do that. That's not in my heart. I've learned over the years, fight that nigga. And if you ain't strong enough to beat him, kill him. I got to check on my steak for my wife. I got to make my wife her steak. Ooh, this looks so good. It looks so good, my wife's steak. Ooh. When I took Jenny to Peoria, it was to show her all the sights and people of my youth, the places where I'd grown up and hung out. I already knew most of my family weren't too fond of Jenny. They sensed she had the grit and determination to pull me away from them, and they feared that more than anything. Not already done so, please remember to like, share the Facebook Subscribe and visit uptopbeauty.com. Now remember this, the same people that you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. My naysayers, my patron loves. You babies, have a good one.